Iași in Romania feels extremely tight-knit, but it also feels like a university, which, with that contrast, you gain a understanding of exactly what Iași is useful for. And inherently, a lot of the best universities in Romania are in Iași. And especially for IT and so forth, they have some of the best curriculum in Romania, which creates a great place for creating value and showing exactly what you need in this regard. Which, while I think that Iași is, of course, a growing city where people are pushing back a little bit on the way that things once were, and it will always be that way, I think that realistically it is a city that is going in very much the correct direction, and it is a place where you can make friends over a taxi ride. You can make connections in the split second you are on a public transport. That is something that not many people will think about and appreciate in Iași, but that really connects them with how the world works, and also it gives them a personality that is very likable, that of course they are creating a environment that is someplace that people want to live in, which is something that not a lot of places can say, as increasingly people are getting more hostile towards foreigners. People are making things more likely to become problematic for people from other countries. And while I haven't personally experienced much of that, I have experienced some. And whenever I go to those countries, I will talk about that. But while I am someone who, of course, travels a lot, I do think that I will be buying a base here. And the reason why is that universities have created a sense of togetherness with foreigners while still retaining the family values and the togetherness that, of course, Romania has in the villages, which is something that obviously not a lot of people can understand. And with Bacău and so forth in the future that I'll go to, which are smaller cities, the inherent resolve that I get from this town is that the university culture has created a very unique dynamic in the future of the city and how it will function in the near future. And this also gives Iași a very interesting perspective from an international student's perspective, where you can get global talents in Iași that obviously they are going to want to stay here, and especially if they're from like India, North Africa, places like this, they do seek work and opportunities, and they do want to learn how to work in the European Union. They want to earn a salary so they can send it back to India, to Nigeria, to wherever they're sending it to, Morocco. And obviously, this creates a huge gap in how you can start hiring here. And I think that as a global outsourcing center, it is a fantastic opportunity. And additionally, university systems in Iași do indeed have a great curriculum. I'll be speaking, hopefully, with some university students here in the near future. If I don't, that's not a big deal. I will still work towards creating videos for you all, bringing the best information possible. However, one thing that I've noticed increasingly in Eastern Europe, while it is perhaps easy to open a business for someone of a certain socioeconomic background, it has been more difficult historically, and even today, for people without a solid socioeconomic background. But Romania kind of changes the narrative there, and I think that realistically they are welcoming to all sorts of ideas, and as the Romanian society changes, I think that realistically it'll go more in the correct direction, as Romanians are not ones to stay in the status quo. They constantly are improving, they constantly are iterating on what they perceive as good. And this ties back very well to how the university and how the education is handled here in Romania. Obviously, if they were just in EU policy bubbles, they would obviously be very different to how they interact with the EU, first of all. But even the global atmosphere, they wouldn't be pushing back saying, oh, we need to protect Christianity, which they've done. They wouldn't be saying, oh, we need to protect our families, which they've done. And so I think that the universities here are here to teach first and then give ideology never. And this inherently creates a massive resolve in how Romanians view, obviously, the larger bubble of the globe. And I think that realistically, while things are moving forward in Romania, people will start to appreciate more the policies and the directives that they have implemented, as I believe that also with Romania being one of the cheapest countries in the EU, they will be lacking a lot of the problems that, say, Croatia or so forth is facing right now. I believe that right now the idealisms of Croatia are not inherently too bad. I believe that them adopting the euro definitely increased inflation quite substantially, and the EU in general, the broad EU sphere, is becoming more dependent on themselves, which actually makes inflation go up higher. And of course, as I cover more of this, I will be linking to it on my channel. And if you are interested at all in getting consulting services for these issues, feel free to contact me for 15 minutes, absolutely free, one-on-one, to create a holistic plan on where you want to go and what would be best for you. Of course, if you liked this video, feel free to like it. If you really liked this video, please feel free to share it. If you are looking for a place to learn all things about internationalization and international business, feel free to subscribe to join our journey on giving you information on these topics. This has been the Traveling Report, and I'm signing off.